Hey everyone, Brittany here with Bumblebee's Face Painting, and today we're working on my camp kitchen kit. We're doing the vinyl that covers the lid. So as you can see, we're getting right started here, and I've got my contact paper I picked up from Home Depot. Walmart no longer carries it, but I believe you can find it on Amazon too. It is chalkboard contact paper. It's really easy to work with. I've used it on several of my kits, but as with contact paper as opposed to vinyl, it can be a little bit on the flimsy side, so be careful if you decide to go with this particular product. Loading your kit in and out of your car or leaving your chair leaning against it in the back of a vehicle, it tends to get scratched and gouged quite a bit. I started with one corner and just kind of work my way. It takes a lot of patience, so make sure you've got plenty of patience, plenty of time. I decided to do this right before a gig. I only had about an hour and a half before I had to leave, and I was getting a little anxious. So I had already had products I picked up at Home Depot and Michael's, and just decided to rush and do it really fast. So this video is sped up, but you do want to take your time and look for the right product for you. I've been using this product, so I'm familiar with it, but I'd love to see what you could do with possibly car vinyl wraps. You can find those on Amazon. I've been really anxious to try that, or even a custom vinyl print. You know, you see wraps on vehicles for plumbers or advertisements or anything like that, and you can actually order something this size to fit your lid that would be custom printed with all your information. I haven't had the opportunity to explore that kind of thing, but I hope to do that in the future, and maybe if I have another kit eventually, that's something I will definitely look into. So again, plenty of time, plenty of patience. Make sure you have a good razor blade, either new blades or clean blades, however, but a nice sharp blade would be fantastic. It just makes it that much easier to cut without snagging. If you do snag occasionally on a dull blade, you can rip your vinyl or your contact paper, and then you're stuck with it being messed up unless you want to start over. The roll, I could possibly do 2 kits from this roll, but I haven't necessarily tried. I did actually cover my side table after this. I am recording this several weeks after I've done this, and it's held up fairly well. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I mean, I have nothing but praise. I think it's a great cheap way to kind of make it look more professional and clean and neat. So here I've got one of my kids' toys, but you can do this with a card, like a membership card or a credit card. Just kind of use it as a squeegee to kind of get in those corners and give it a nice slick look before you trim. And of course, you'll want to give yourself a little bit of excess just in case. I haven't had too much luck trying to line it up perfectly, and it's only about a couple inches, so it didn't bother me too much to trim some off if I know it's going to look nice and clean. I ran the blade here along the aluminum frame at an angle, almost kind of pointed inward underneath the frame, and it just comes out perfect. You want to be a little more careful in the corners though, because they are rounded, and that's going to be a spot that may curl up or get air underneath it faster than the parts that are flush against the frame, because this section here is plastic. It's a little more flexible, gets damaged more easily when you're loading and unloading. And naturally, of course, if you have your kit like mine, I tend to face this side towards my line or towards my crowd. And kids love to pick and find imperfections to mess around with and slowly destroy and ruin your life. Haha, no, I'm just kidding. But yes, they do like to kind of find little nooks and crannies to mess with and get their fingers into. So just make sure it looks clean. Now here I did find a bubble that I missed. What you want to do is take a needle or the very tip of the blade and just puncture that bubble and then give it a nice rub, and it will kind of dissipate there. So here we go. This is step 1. As you can see, I do have a gap because this roll is not wide enough to cover the entire top to bottom section, and I didn't want to have a gap on both sides. I just figured one side would be better than the other. Again, with the maybe doing a vehicle wrap or auto vinyl, It's perfect because they actually make big wide sheets for car hoods. It can be a little bit more expensive, but I think it's definitely worth looking into. Or a vinyl shop that's willing to cut down a much larger roll, which are like 4 and 5 feet across, to whatever size you need. I think they had quoted me last time I asked about $40, $45 for a custom cut sheet of vinyl. Without graphics, just a custom sheet of vinyl, whichever color I preferred. Now here, this is the Cricut product I was talking about. This is like a glitter paper for decals. It is sticky on the back, and that's what you want. You don't want to heat transfer for like shirts and things, but actual decal sticky self-adhesive is what it's going to say, I think. So I didn't need that width of sheet. I wanted enough to cover from side to side, but I went ahead and cut it down so I had 2 skinny strips. And then the sides that were machine cut, the bottom of the roll or the top of the roll, that's the portions I used to cover the case. I knew that the machine cut, from the factory was going to be a lot more straight than the what I could cut with a blade or cut with scissors. So the part I'm trimming off is the area that I had cut myself. So I just wanted something extra and kitschy and cute to kind of frame it off a little bit. I do have a purple car, so I thought this purple glitter paper was going to look really good. And it does. I'm super happy with it. And I think I always get a lot of compliments because it's not very girly, so I don't feel weird about having it set up for boy parties, and it's not necessarily masculine either. So it's just kind of gender neutral, I guess, if you want to call it that. So here I've added a kind of a larger strip on the bottom of the case and then a skinnier strip on the top, mostly because I do hang signage in between in the black spaces, or because it's chalkboard paper, contact paper, I will use chalkboard markers and just kind of write whatever I need to write down. But my video is coming to an end, so I just wanted to show you guys a quick and fast way to add some vinyl and some pizzazz, some contact paper to your kit lid. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I want to see those kits, so feel free to post them in the face painting kit group. I'd love to see them, or tag me or send me a message. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.